is indeed my pleasure and privilege that the Institute of Small Enterprises Development and the Center for Monitoring have given successful, very useful and important report on the state of entrepreneurship and the challenges ahead. As we all know, ours is a country of small enterprises in the name of informal sector or the subsistence sector. About 85% of India's workforce obtains its livelihood and makes its important contribution, reciprocal contribution to the rest of society and economy. Now, its important role has now, for some time, come to be accepted universally. For example, even some of the most important economists in the country, globally, like Professor Solo, they explain and show how the labor market is a social institution, and labor market being a social institution, its participation in the economy, its participation in providing people the livelihood, the means of satisfying their wants. That is, it goes beyond exchange values to the fulfillment of the role of use values. And use values, not only in the sense of consumers, but the use values as the means of getting access to the use value, exchange value, by means of entering the market as a supplier of labor, as a producer of goods and services, and most important of all, it is where people are, it is where resources are, it is where things are needed, where things can happen, where they can combine traditional knowledge and information and understanding with the new frontiers which they see around and respond to them positively by producing. Now, naturally, we do come across a basic contradiction. Though this livelihood sector provides the means of livelihood to about 85% of Indian workforce, its contribution in the GDP at the moment is at the most half of the total, almost half of the total. It means the scope for increasing it, the scope for bringing increasingly more and better goods, more useful goods, goods with higher productivity, with higher level of participation, higher level of satisfaction. I think from this point of view, one finds that most of our infrastructure, where the bulk of public spending has gone, where most of the private, individual, and entrepreneurial and corporate efforts have gone, they're providing what I might call growth-centric infrastructure. What we need now is one whereby family capabilities, workers' capabilities, local resources, local demand pattern, etc., responded in a way that we are very fair, very sensitive, very protective of our environment. That the processes of replenishment of what we take from the environment, what we make use of, they are also simultaneously replenished, so that the total availability of natural resources and its balance, ecological balance, continues. I think entrepreneurship lies not only in being able to produce and sell and realize the value, but at the same time fulfilling the social, economical, and I would say it's not only social, it's the global, the entire world's ecology, entire world's labor market, uh, in the name of the processes of what used to be called globalization. We are all interconnected now. This interconnection is not only through the market, it's mostly through the nature. It is through our needs, through our capabilities, it's creative assertion. Now this creative assertion, simultaneously, what it leads to a little bit of destruction, little bit of depletion. Now the depletion has to be replaced. That means entrepreneurial capabilities, entrepreneurial sensibilities, and appropriate adjustment of technology, and naturally, most important of all, energy use has to be so fine-tuned that the requirements of society, requirements of the up to the last man, Antyodaya, remains that is everybody's participation and the participation of the last man. Last man is not in the sense of one selectively picked up or a few selectively picked up, but the process of participation keeps expanding its concentric circles and ultimately incorporates everyone, so that this everyone's reaches the last person as well. Last person means that nobody is left out. Everybody is made to participate and share. I think this is a challenge which has to be redefined, and it's this definition, I'm sure all the participants, all the people who are participating in this report, and they are trying to explore the new vistas of entrepreneurship, are very conscious of it, very sensitive to it, and they are putting their best efforts to see that our efforts do not lead to adverse inclusion, but leads to proper participative, humane, social participation, social incorporation, so that along with the economic linkages, the linkages with nature, mutual linkages, brotherhood increases, fraternity increases, and that fraternity, the feeling of being complementary to each other, supporting each other. This is what the grassroots, small men entrepreneurship leads to. That means the entrepreneurship vistas have to expand beyond those who are shareholders, those who are participating in the management, those who are contributing the advanced front lines of technology. But the last person also is able to join it. I think this is a challenge that gradually we have to move towards. I'm very happy to see this report, and it's my great pleasure to have been associated with. It's in your hands, and please treat it as released and let's discuss it further. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for associating me with this activity.